Listen here, girl. I know you think it's a game, but it is absolutely not. Okay, this is the energy supplement from Just Move Supplements. That's right. It's damn near all gone, girl, and that's because I had to get that energy up so I can complete the workout, so I can give y'all this body, this transformation, get into it. Okay, and I'm done working out now, so that's why we're moving on to the protein shake. Oh yes, it's already in there, girl. It's already made right here. This is the mixture of the banana pudding, the chocolate cake, and the buttercream cupcake. And you really want to be fancy, you can go ahead and add that blueberry muffin if that's what you want to do, girl. But for me, it's these three right here. Okay, you put that with some almond milk, you mix it all up in honey. Okay, your muscles have gained life, new energy, agility. Get into it, okay? Just Move Supplements. Thank you very much. Hold up, Chief. Okay, don't forget about that TLC NutriBurst to get that multivitamin probably, because we all need a little extra. And child, if you want that sea moss that go down smooth, don't come up rough, okay? Get into the TLC Nautica sea moss. Yes, get that from me. And child, if your stomach hurt and you need to move some things around so you can be free, okay, go ahead and get that ISOT down below in the description box. Get it all from me. Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all. Y'all know I'm weird. Whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
And we're back. What's going on? We're back. We're about to get into Weekends on OWN, which is going to be Put a Ring on It, Ready to Love. And then you guys are going to call in and tell me what you thought about last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. What's going on, girl? What? I don't know what you mean. Wait, you said in the last video you wasn't talking to us. I can't hear. Wait, I don't know what y'all talking about. You can't hear. I don't know what y'all mean. Y'all can't hear. My mic is definitely on. I guess I'll wait. Okay, I can hear. He said it's only you. I'm about to say, I don't know why y'all wouldn't be able to hear me. I don't know why. I'm gonna check. Hold up, y'all. I'm coming. All right. So, when I tell y'all that Put a Ring on It has become problematic, it's fucking 3, 2, 1. That's what I'm not doing this season. What I used to do last season, I would go through, I would get pictures of the people that they went on dates with. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I don't care. I don't care about the people that they go on dates with like that, because normally they don't really stay with those people anyway. So what's the point? And anybody worth remembering, you remember Hollywood. God damn, you remember him. Okay. Like, actually beautiful, watching you on my new Samsung. Ah, thank you. Samsung loves me. Who's in charge of the casting? Child, I don't know. But it is problematic to say the least. Too much this week. Are y'all ready to get into this shit? Are y'all ready to get into this shit? Okay, babe, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing right now? All right, come in here. Come in here. Y'all, it smells so good in here right now. Y'all know I've been on my spring cleaning shit, right? So like I'm doing it little bit by little. And today was supposed to be Lyric and I's day to try to tackle upstairs. Him upstairs. Oops. So it just smells really good in here. It smells really good in here. Okay. All right. We ready? It was a lot, child, wasn't it though? You know what? Do y'all want to start with Ready to Love and get Ready to Love out the way first and then do Put a Ring on It? Let's do Put a Ring on It first. And then, let's do Ready to Love first, because that wasn't as much. And then we'll get into Put a Ring on It, because I feel like Put a Ring on It was better than Ready to Love. So let's do Ready to Love first. And plus, that was first in my notes. So let's do that. Weekend trip. Y'all know the weekend trip is the opportunity for people to find out who they're really into on the show. Are you really into who you say you're into? Because it can change depending on who you spend the weekend with. Okay. Joy put her bag on Clifton's bed ASAP. Decision made. Sabrina sees it and she asks if anyone is sharing beds. Clifton says he didn't know that Joy had put her bag on his bed. And I don't think at first he didn't. He was made aware by the time Sabrina found out about it. But no, I don't think he knew when she did it initially. And I think she did it on purpose, like she was marking her territory. Okay. Which tells me that Clifton and Joy have already had sex. Okay. When he went into the room, he said, "Oh, I know who bag that is." He said, "Well, I know the smell of it." I said, "Not the smell of it. For the hell of it." Dakia is bothered, and Dakia should be bothered because Dakia was supposed to be still in the running for Clifton's top bitch. And it seems as if she has now been demoted. Okay. Also, why do you continue to put adult people in bunk beds? Y'all really can't find houses big enough to have two full size beds or two queen size beds. You know, like I'm trying to understand, are there really not houses that can house all of these people in full size beds? Like, it's a couples thing. You should be making an opportunity for people to fuck. Why are y'all with all of these twin beds? Like, what is that about? Tommy comes in. Tina is still not there. Apparently, she was having car trouble. Girl, I don't believe it. You haven't been present this entire process because you don't want to be present. You thought you was going to be able to do this, but you can't juggle this and your baby and your job and whatever else you got going on. Okay? So I just kind of feel like, Tina, girl, bye. It's over. It's all over. Okay? It's over. Oh, toe back and over. Okay. Tori and Demetrius. Huh? Yeah, because I don't like people to hear. Like, yeah, no, I excuse me, I'm sorry, babe. And just, back to it. Okay. Tori and Demetrius talk about truth or dare and how Tori says he doesn't think Sabrina's connection with Demetrius isn't as steady as it seems. So he's gonna shoot his shot. Let's talk about that for a minute. Tori and Demetrius. Tori, last episode, when given the opportunity to compete for Sabrina's affections, you punked out. And now you want to show up this week talking about, yeah, it looked like her connection with Demetrius may not be that strong, which honestly, ever since it was made clear to her that the only thing Demetrius is into is a woman who is submissive, no other qualifications except for the fact that she be submissive, which I find weird. Like now that we're grown and I'm like, yeah, I'm about to be 34 years old. The more I hear that word from men, the more I feel like, so you want women to like get into relationships under the guise of completely giving up control over their lives to you. Is that not weird? Is that not weird? I feel like that's weird. I feel like that's really, really weird for a man to be like, oh, okay, you know what I want in a partner? Someone that gives me control. Do you not have control of yourself? Why do you need control of her? It's when you really start to think about what that means, y'all, you find that it's not based in anything that's healthy for the woman. And that's my thing. It's not anything that's healthy for the woman, y'all. And I know y'all think that it is because it sounds good, because submissiveness is supposed to come with somebody also taking care of you. But what I find is that you niggas want women to be submissive and work at the same time. And that's not how any of this works. Like, I also feel like that shouldn't be the first thing. That shouldn't be a qualification for the person in the relationship. That's not a personality trait. But the way the manosphere and the way you niggas have trained women society-wise to, basically fight amongst each other to ask for the least amount from you niggas. Like, that's what it's all about. Submissive means I'm going to just, relinquish all of my power to you. I'm not, y'all. I'm not doing it. It's weird. It's weird to me. Y'all, now Dakia reminds me of Dr. Jackie. Bitch, I'm dead. I ain't never seen Dr. Jackie slurp no oyster off of a shell now. I ain't never seen Dr. Jackie do that. But anyway, Tori. I'm sorry, y'all. Back to Tori and Demetrius. That's the reason why Demetrius and Sabrina aren't going to work out, because Sabrina is not going to acquiesce to that bullshit. I'm trying to understand why somebody's like 30 something years old. I've been divorced. I take care of myself. I'm an independent person. Why is what you're asking of me in the relationship is for me not to be independent, not to take care of myself, when that's something I've had to do this entire time? And then the thing that makes me upset is that what people don't realize is that these men want to put you in a position that you need them so that they can dog you out. Like, that's what submissiveness is turning into for me. Submissiveness means come into the relationship, do what I say, don't argue with me, and then allow for me to put you in a position where you need me. So if I ever decide to do something that harms you, you're not going to leave me because you need me. I think that nowadays, when men are asking for submissiveness from women in 2022, you are asking for a woman to say off rip, she's going to allow you to abuse her. And that as long as you are paying for something, that it's okay. But she's still going to have a job. She's still going to have to be, have a job, but she's still going to have to be submissive to you. Y'all, it doesn't, it's not giving what y'all think is given in 2022. It's not. It's not. They really want to just put you at a disadvantage so you can't leave them. Like, that's what I'm starting to think. This whole thing about being submissive and a man taking care of everything is so a woman doesn't have the option to leave once the nigga has taken too many liberties with the relationship. Tori should have left when Ace tapped out. He backed off from Sabrina and never changed, so there was no other reason for him to be there. Some of these people are dragging it, ready for the reunion. I agree, Jessica. I agree. Okay. Sabrina has her own concerns about Demetrius and Donovan. Tori is no longer a part of that, and he should not be. In all honesty, Tori, I understand that you decided to take some accountability this episode, but the truth of the matter is you need to do some work on why you can't compete with other men. I think I think like that's weak to me. I don't often like to call people weak for any old thing, especially men, but I find it very weak that when you are faced with competing for a woman in a process where you know you're competing for a woman, like, but that's how it's supposed to be. I do think that men are supposed to, in some ways, compete for a woman's affections, if that's what the situation is. And somewhere or another, you have to have it in your mind that I want this woman to feel like nobody can be better than me. Because that's what the woman is thinking about. And that's what y'all make the woman think about, right? But you can't think like that. You can't be the one that's like, I don't give a fuck what Demetrius is talking about. I don't give a fuck what Donovan is talking about. I'm going to let this woman know that I am her only option at the end of the day. Because them niggas ain't they're not going to do her how I'm going to do her. Y'all don't think about that. Y'all think, oh, she likes somebody else. Fuck her then. Like, what are you in middle school, Tori? Even Demetrius knew that asserting himself as not giving a fuck about those other men would put him in a higher level than Tori. All Tori had to do was not be able to compete. And Demetrius, with his crazy ass, was able to slide right up to the top just for the fact that he was not scared of the competition. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It's insane when you really think about it. Like, none of them are worth shit to Sabrina. I'm going to tell you the truth. Like, Demetrius just wants to control her, and Tori is pissed that she's not doing what he wants her to do. So he acts like a child instead of acting like a grown-ass man and asserting himself, in a way to her that would be attractive. No. Instead, you want to play nice with the men and be mad at her because they are more, they're rising to the occasion in the competition. Like, I was just like, oh, so you want to have a conversation with your competition, but you couldn't have a real conversation with a woman that you wanted so badly. What? Like, you niggas are pick-me's and don't even realize it. Like, oh, Lord.
Sabrina has a few red flags of her own to discuss. She asked if Donovan wants marriage or he wants to continue to date. He's only been by himself since his divorce for 3 or 4 months. Y'all, that's not enough time. For a man, you can move on, but I don't know if you're ready for a serious relationship in 3 to 4 months after a marriage is over. That don't sound like you're ready. It sounds like rebound. It sounds like the people that helped me get over what I was going through before, not the people that I'm actually going to be with moving forward. Because I don't know, because see, Donovan comes off like he got his shit together, which means there's something about him he's hiding. Everybody shows their flaw at one point or another. When people don't show their flaws, it's because they have them and they just learned how to cover them up. And you should be worried about that. Just saying. She didn't really get a clear answer about if he's ready to be in a relationship or not. So that says a lot. What are you even on here for? Carmen decided that she was going to shoot her shot with both Paul and Donovan, since that's her two connections. And Paul was sitting up there trying to eat his food and she's trying to flirt with him. And he was just like, all that shit, bitch. Like, I'm eating. Like, get off me. Like, bitch, I'm trying to eat and you trying to do all this extra shit on the camera. Like, leave me alone. I'm trying to eat my food. Like, that's what the vibe was giving. So she went ahead and moved on to Donovan, and Donovan was more receptive. Joy and Clifton had matching onesies on, also made the Kia feel away. The Kia girl, just go home. Sabrina feels like Demetrius doesn't put forth enough effort to her, and I think it's because he doesn't like the fact that she's let it be known that she's not going to acquiesce to him in this submissive bullshit. Tori asked Sabrina how she feels about him when they finally get a chance to have that private conversation, and she sees him as a friend because of how he responded to the competition. Nobody wants to be with a man that acts like that in a process where you know that people are dating other people. That's the problem with a lot of you niggas. Y'all are punks. Y'all are punks. Y'all can't deal with no competition, so you punk out. Like, and that's what he did. And now he's coming back looking for her to be attracted to him. No, nigga, you did the ultimate unattractive thing. You punked out. The fuck? Anyway, he played it off like, I'm just going to stick around and see what my other options are. Tori, you don't have any other options. Go home. Joy and Clifton talk about the Kia after the morning after. You can tell they fucked. After the night before. What? When all of the fun is over, will you still want me, baby? I'm definitely going to be listening to some Frankie Beverly and some Maze today. But yes. Okay, that is what it was giving. Okay, we just finished fucking. Good morning. Okay, and we fucked this morning. Good morning. Okay, good afternoon. But I appreciate Joy for her conversation with Clifton, even though it seemed like she was like trying to, obviously, the Kia still has feelings. You might want to straighten that out so that she's clear. It was coming from the standpoint of like, let me say something from the Kia standpoint, but really you wanted him to choose you. We've now been in the bed tonight. She's here. You need to let her know what it is. Clifton still refuses to 100% say that he's choosing Joy and he's no longer going to feign interest in the Kia. Okay? So Joy is like, what you waiting on? And I was like, that's why I did not trust Clifton from the very beginning and didn't like how Joy showed certain signs of being way too thirsty for him. As much as she has been able to flow through this process and date other people and talk to other people, I will never forget her running to go and kiss him. I was just like, what you running for? Like, don't run. Walk slowly, saunter. Go back and forth on a hip to see if you might change directions. But don't run to the nigga. Just saying, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not me and you. Like, I can run and jump on you, nigga. We've already made a decision. You can't run and jump on a nigga that has not made a decision. Because then it comes off as thirsty. You're doing too much. Bad back. Okay? So I'm just saying that she showed signs early on that I found problematic. And so now that we're here and he still can't seem to pick a side, that should let you know something. Something is amiss. Him and his eyebrows are not to be trusted. Dakia is still pissed. Her and Sabrina talk about how he acting like they didn't have like a pivotal change in their situation. You know, she said the date they went on last episode with the oysters. It was the last episode, the episode before last, where he fed her the oyster and she had a ponytail and she was cute. Yeah, that gave me, we kissed, he touched me, and then he's been being very affectionate ever since that date. So I feel like the fact that they show up at the house and now you're letting it be known that Joy is the one you're in the bed with when you've been, you know, probably being affectionate and sexual with her as well. They may not have had sex, which is probably why Joy is the one in the bed. I'm just saying. But it made me feel a way on Dakia's behalf. But you see it, like I would feel a way as well. I would feel a way too. But you see what it is, so just let it be what it is. Thank you, Cynthia, for becoming a member of my channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Paul and Dakia talk, and he tells her how much he loves that she's a boss. He basically saw that she felt the way about what was going on with Clifton, and so he decided to slide in and big her up and tell her all the things that she wanted to hear. But we all know that that's not about to be a relationship, because Paul is going to end up with Carmen, from what I understand and what I've seen on social media. But another thing that I want to point out is that this is what Paul does and why Paul knows what's going on with a lot of the women, because Paul goes and talks to the women. Paul has conversations. Paul, you know, tells them all of the nice things they want to hear. He sits on, I promise y'all, Paul is the nigga that sits on the phone and gets all of the tea from the women. That's why Paul has been there for so long, because he's not just simply, you know, simply like your the niggas from the past 2 seasons, the clowns, Corey and them, you know. No, he's not like that. He came off like that. But I'm telling y'all, Paul genuinely sits down on the phone and has long conversations with the women, which is why the women form friendships with him and why he's still there, because he provides the friendship. Like, even there was one point when Joy was like sitting on him and they were talking, and I was like, you laying on this man, girl, what's going on? But it's because they cool like that. Paul is the friend. Paul is the homeboy. So there's a level of comfortability that Paul has with a lot of the women, and it's not a romantic thing. It's not a sexual thing, but it kept him on the show. It's just as long as the niggas that actually had a woman that was like specifically for them. Paul has not had a woman specifically stay with him the way Sabrina has specifically stayed with Demetrius and Donovan, the way Dakia and Joy has specifically been with Clifton. You know what I mean? Paul really should have been gone if it were not for the fact that he formed real friendships and relationships with those women just by talking to them. Pete. Okay. Yeah, Paul got all the dirt for sure. And I think that's why a lot of the women still, you know, they big him up, because they know that they have told him things and he keeps everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? He don't keep no mess going, even though he could. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he told Dakia that anyone who looks at her and sees anything less than what he sees is blind. And she was moved by it. And it's what she needed to hear. And I can't begrudge him. Because I know the relationship is not going to go any further, but it definitely could have been one of those moments where you take advantage of a woman being, insecure so that you can make her feel better, and then take advantage of that moment for yourself, not just so you can big her up, but so that you can get something out of it. So we'll see. But Tommy came in, still no Tina. The women talk. Sabrina likes that Donovan is aggressive. I like Donovan in the way he handles the women as well. Like, talk. He know how to talk to him, know how to be with him. Like, he's not, you don't have to pull teeth with Donovan. And I do like that about him. Joy, of course, Clifton is her number one. Dakia bows out on Clifton, and now Tori and Paul are of interest. Dakia, go home. Carmen says that she enjoys her time with Donovan. Donovan is on Joy's bottom. Demetrius and Donovan are on Dakia's bottom. Carmen says that Tori is on her bottom. Sabrina says Tori and Paul are on her bottom. And Sabrina is the one that actually has to end up calling Tori and Paul to the front of the line. I think that Tori's going to go home next week. And I think he should. Out of him and Paul, I think Paul has handled himself in the process a little bit better. So I think he should stay. He's not gonna leave with anybody. If you, I mean, he'll probably leave with Carmen. Paul will leave with Carmen. Donovan may leave with Sabrina, and Clifton will leave with Joy. Now, will they actually stay together? Probably not. But that's how the show will tie up everything in a pretty bow for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Paul is slowly growing on me a little bit. Him affirming the Kia, not sure if he was just saying that, but it made me tear. No, it definitely touched me as well. But it wasn't about him. It was about the fact that that's what she needed to hear, and there was someone to say it to her. That was really what it was about, you know? Yeah, no, Tori and his kidney shifting need to get the fuck out of here, okay? You're making everybody nervous. You're making everybody scared. So yeah, y'all, that was basically everything that happened. So I told y'all it wasn't a lot. So let's go ahead and get back to put a ring on it, girl, because it was a motherfucking mess. All right, before we get into it, can y'all do me a favor and stop stalking me and act like you like a bitch? Okay, so I saw Donovan defending Carmen in a lot of the comments on YouTube. I don't know if they're together because I saw a video of Carmen and Paul with their faces together. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Okay, I don't think Carmen is going to really be with anybody. Paul seems like the type to like being a shoulder to cry on. He gave Carmen the back seat because he peeped Dakia and Clifton. I don't think that's the only reason. I don't think he thinks that I don't think he thinks Carmen is, how do I say this? I think they respect Carmen, but I think men who have to worry about a woman playing them are scary to them. And I think that Donovan finds something interesting about Carmen being someone he has to worry about, if you ask me. Whereas Paul, on the other hand, feel like, bitch, I'll go to jail. So I probably shouldn't be with you. Because you're going to end up having me fucking somebody or you up. You know what I'm saying? Like, she act like she a pick-me, but she actually seemed like one of those women that'll get with a nigga and then dog him the fuck out. Carmen will maybe leave with SB because she wants to be picked. Donovan and Carmen are feeding each other on the video. Okay. I saw her with her face up against Paul's face in a video with music in the background. Anybody see that one? Because I saw that one. I didn't see anything with Donovan, but I definitely saw Donovan defending Carmen in comments and stuff. How did Ace end up with the dude from last season? I don't know. Definitely something we're gonna have to talk about. Tyrone, right? Tyrone, with the crazy, with the crazy energy, he made us feel like, hey, don't leave him out there hanging. You might go missing. Donovan is in real estate. Carmen and her connections are a come up. Ooh, come on, Elaine. Come on. I like that. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into put a ring on it. Okay. So y'all, we find the couples where we left them last week, which is with Shay storming off from Alfonso. She's upset because he's laughing at her. She upset. She had to collect herself. She came back to the group. He's mad that she aired their dirty laundry out. He doesn't know what he can do about his mama not liking her. I don't know, y'all, but Alfonso, like, I'm going to have an issue. And what do you mean, airing your dirty laundry? You're on a reality show. Hold up. You're on a reality show to talk about your relationship, Alfonso. What the fuck do you think you're going to do on this show? You think you just hit a smile and look good and laugh? I hate when niggas be stupid. Give me that. Because you sound dumb. You sound slow. Like, make me understand what you thought coming on this show was gonna be. Anyway, Dr. Nicole says that if you want to resolve, hold on, I said if you can't, oh yeah, no. Doctor says if you can't resolve, because he was like, I don't know what to do. So Dr. Nicole said, well, if you don't know how to resolve the issue, then maybe you should remove yourself from the relationship. I like that. I like that she said that. Because a lot of men feel like, well, since I can't do nothing about it, you just supposed to, shut up about it. I can't fix it, so just deal with it. No, nigga, if you can't do anything about it, if you can't rise to the occasion, then exit stage left because you are obviously not the one. And Dr. Nicole says, well, go ahead and back out so that she can be on her own, because that's what you're doing. Is that what you want? And he says no. And so Dr. Nicole says, well, you have to see the other person so that you don't have to lose, or that she doesn't have to lose so you can win. Basically, look at the issue for what it really is instead of looking at it as this girl is just working on my nerves or being in opposition of me. And that if I have to resolve this issue, it means that I'm going to lose something or she's going to lose something, meaning that it can never be as simple as I can check my mom and my baby mom and force us to get along because I'm the man. So I should be able to get in control of this situation, right? It's so funny to me when niggas want to be head of households, but you can't even bring your baby mama, your mama, and your girl together. You can't even do that. Versace down, can't bring the three most important women in your life together so that they can put their bullshit aside. I feel like men who are actually men absolutely handle situations like this. They sit everybody down and they're direct with everybody. They tell, okay, like you will really have a time and place where you bring your mama, your baby mama, and your girl all together, hopefully with a couple of other family members that can keep them from fighting if things, turn left. And you basically say, listen, this is my woman. This is who I'm with. This is my baby mama. This is my mama. I love y'all, but I need y'all to start including and showing her respect. This is who I'm choosing to be with. I want to be in my children's life. I don't want y'all to not be in each other's life, but I need there to be some respect towards Shay. And if there's not any respect towards Shay, then we're going to have a problem. Okay? We're going to have a problem. Mom, baby mom, you don't go on a fucking family vacation with your mom and your baby mama and the kids and lie to your girlfriend, your fiance about it. You don't do that. That's one way to handle this. Oh, they don't want to include her. They don't want to be nice to her. So I'm going to, we're doing this. Well, if we're doing this and I'm paying, then Shay has to come. Is that really that hard? Like, it almost makes me feel like this is something so simple to just put your foot down and assert yourself as the man in everybody's life. But you would rather laugh and act like it's out of your control. Are you fucking the baby mom? Because that's what I would think. And that's why you want to keep this shit up. Anyway, Charlena talks about how much fun she had on her date with Meta. Of course, she's not really interested in him. They didn't connect like that. All she really did was talk about how crazy Otis is. But, she went on her date, had a good time. Otis lost his shit on her, threw her flowers in the trash can. He says that she should have known better. And Dr. Nicole says she should have known better or she should understand how you feel. Like, he doesn't even understand that there's something wrong with what he says. He says it's both. She should have known better. She should have known better than to bring flowers. It's to bring flowers home from her date. Okay. She says he told her to go and take a shower because she was dirty and she felt disrespected. He says it was because she was playing soccer. We all know that that's not why. Dr. Nicole says, or it was because you were angry and seeking to establish dominance in that context. Like, you were trying to establish your dominance. In that context, most people would say you were implying that she was dirty and she had done something disrespectful. He says that wasn't it. You're lying. You're lying to everybody's face. That's exactly what the fuck you meant. Dr. Nicole asked if he can take ownership of hurting her, and he says yes. Dr. Nicole tells him if he thinks that she didn't say to him directly. She said to everybody, if you think that you're going to be on here pulling strings so your partner doesn't react a certain way, you're going to be disappointed. Meaning that the assumption that she was supposed to just know is stupid. And you making that assumption is going to end up getting your fucking face cracked. But Charlena is not empowered by this, because now Charlena is worried about the way he's going to act on his date. Please, thank you. So y'all, Shorty went on a date with Hollywood, goddamn, okay? They talked about a lot of different things. They had good conversation. She's starting to feel like she's forcing him to be someone he's not, because the things that she wants from a person, the conversation, just the forward thinking, was so easy with Hollywood. And it's because that's just who Hollywood is, right? And then she talks about how he threw the necklace. Now, we saw him throw the necklace across the room, but he actually threw the necklace over the banister of the apartment. Then he took her phone for what seemed like days, searched through all of her text messages and her calls, read the things that she said about him to her friends. Like, he did a lot. He did even more than that. We're going to get to it in a minute. Then he admits that he was feeling insecure and that he lost control, and he needs to learn how to come to the table. Well, this is what Dr. Nicole said. He needs to learn how to come to the table and not come to the mat. And I thought that was such a real thing to say. And I want to put that in perspective. Why is it that when it comes to your woman, you're ready to fight her, but you're not ready to come to the table to resolve issues with her? What is that about? Why are you coming to the table and showing up and gearing up for a fight with your woman, but you can't gear up and prepare yourself for a conversation to resolve things in a healthy manner? Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Charlena isn't going to go on another date with Mecca. Told y'all they didn't connect like that. Shay isn't going to go on another date with Brian, and she said because physically he didn't hit the mark. I told y'all last week that she wants a drug dealer looking ass nigga. Drug dealers don't wear short jeans and tight shirts. Just saying. Shorty wants another date with Hollywood because she had a good time with him, and he the real deal. And when I say the real deal, I mean a real New Orleans nigga and not a Baton Rouge one perpetrating a New Orleans nigga. But I'm gonna let it go. You know you don't talk like that. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. People talk like that. No, the fuck you don't. Kenny says, of course, he has something to say at first, but he knows they have something solid. He knows that him and Shorty have something solid. No, y'all don't. You're going to blackmail her and threaten her into staying with you. That's what you're going to do. He the type of nigga that take naked pictures of you and then have them in his phone and threaten to put it on Facebook if you don't stay in a relationship with him. So the men are going on their dates this episode. Shay is excited. No, she's not. No, she's not. She's not excited. I don't understand why y'all signed up for this process. Like, I really don't understand what they thought was going to happen. When they hear put a ring on it, all they hear is put a ring on it. You don't even know that this process is also going to be your significant other going on dates with other people. Like, y'all sign up for that. And then when we get to that part, y'all act like y'all had no idea that this is what was going to happen. Charlena is scared of what Otis' abusive ass is going to do. In the car on the way home, Kenneth and Shorty argue because she wants to take part in the process. This much reminds us of how Hollywood and Ashley, went through the same thing, where he wanted her to, not fully go through the process and basically go on dates to prove that he was the one and he was better than all those other dudes. But if that's not what's actually happening, then nobody's going to pretend that that's what's happening for you. And that's what the men want the women to do. Yeah, go on the dates, but don't touch him. Don't talk to him. Don't do anything. Go on the dates, though. We keep trying to tell them Baton Rouge is not New Orleans. Okay? It makes a lot difference, okay? It's not even the same place. Anybody that's been to Baton Rouge knows that it feels totally different from New Orleans. Like, it's not even close. It might as well be in two different fucking states as far as I'm concerned. So when they, like I said, they got back in the car, they're arguing. She wants her phone back. He finally gives her her phone back. She realizes that he texted himself pictures. Y'all get this. Pictures of her bank account and credit card statements. I said, also, he's going to rob her. He's going to rob her. If she leaves him, he's going to steal from her. Or he's going to post her personal information online. She asked him to delete it in front of her so she can feel safe, and he won't do it. He jumps out of the car because he doesn't want to even have the conversation because the cameras are there. And what he just did was illegal. He says he wants to, can we talk about it later? Y'all, this is why the Lord sent me lyric early on. This is why the Lord sent me lyric early on. Because when I tell you, I don't give a fuck about them cameras. Y'all, this is when Brittany turns into Brandy, my mom would say. This is when all my common sense and my higher self go out of the window. And I'm literally telling myself, don't stab him in the neck. Don't stab him in the neck. Because I, in fact, want to stab him in the neck. Jay Antoinette was on it already. Jay Antoinette was on it already. First of all, if a man ever in his fucking life plays with my money like that, he has just proven himself to be worthless to me. Do you hear me? That is one thing as a woman I feel like you should never, ever even think about dealing with. And that is a man stealing from you. Because that's what that sounds like to me. Stealing. It sounds like you took pictures of her shit so that if she wants to leave you, you can take money from her. Because you're vindictive. That's when she tells us that in the past, he's done things like this before. He spammed her job's webpage and commented negative things about her when they got into it. He sabotages her so that no one will want her. Then he apologizes for it. I said, Shorty, how old are you? Why are you going through this? Why are you with this? I told y'all this nigga was not on the up and up when he faked, and like when he's out here perpetrating an accent that was never indicative to his area. Do you hear me? He is a perpetrator. Do you know why he's a perpetrator? Because he's constantly in a mind frame of how to get over, how to manipulate, how to get something out of somebody. And he knows that coming from Louisiana ain't good enough. You got to baby these hoes. I saw, babe, remember when they was, I don't know if you saw the scene when they was sitting there and she was saying how she wants a man that supports her career. And he was like, no, hold up. He had his arm around. I don't even appreciate you sitting here acting like I don't support you and I'm not your biggest fan. See, when he started this right here and in the top, I was like, oh, he acting. Like, y'all, I know y'all don't be seeing, like, y'all don't know how I be seeing shit in my head, but I literally can sometimes see when people start to like put on. And I saw in that moment that he was putting on when he was saying that shit to her. But I know he put it on because it's a specific way that New Orleans people express themselves. And so when I see people that's not from New Orleans, like, do that like that in that way that he did it, no, you know, you look down, you moving your hands and your head a lot, you leaning into your accent a little bit harder than it needed to be leaned into. No, and then you keeping your voice low because you don't need to scream on a bitch because you got the accent by your side. You ain't got to yell at a bitch. All you got to do is talk to a real calm, like in an assertive manner, but you using your hands and you saying things in a way that's getting your point across. Y'all, when I tell y'all we know what our accent do to people, we know what our accent do to people. So when I hear people lean into their shit, I know they're using it as a way to endear people to them or to manipulate. Babe, tell me I'm lying. So when he started to do those things, I was like, oh, he perpetrating hard. And it's because he a fucking scammer. Nigga said at one point he didn't even have an accent, bruh. Because people was in my comments talking about other people from Louisiana talk like that, Bondy. And I'm just like, oh, you from here? Talk to me. Because I know y'all like to argue with me for the sake of proving me wrong about shit, especially when I'm talking about some shit I know. Like Joel from Ready to Love. Right. Compare Joel Hollywood and Kenneth, totally different. First of all, peep how Kenneth was dressed. New Orleans niggas, believe it or not, when they got money, especially if they're going to be on somebody's TV, fashion forward. It may be too much, but what did y'all notice about how fresh and current? And what I mean is they would like Joel and Hollywood are dressed in suit-like attire. Nice fitted polo shirts, pants that fit. Kenneth is damn near wearing a long polo shirt and Jabot jeans. Babe, it wasn't Jabot's, but you know what I'm saying, right? His clothes is baggy. Like, baggy for what New Orleans niggas be dressing like once they've like established themselves. Like New Orleans niggas are dressy, y'all. Like if you from the north, how Detroit niggas, Chicago niggas, like y'all know, like there's a subset group of black men from certain cities that have a flashiness about them, and New Orleans niggas are like that. So I peeped from the jump that Kenneth was perpetrating because you're not even as flossy as New Orleans niggas are flossy. Yo name brand look like name brand from 7 years ago name brand. You know what I'm saying? Every NOLA man I know can dress. I'm telling you, most New Orleans niggas with money are flashy. Abercrombie and Fitch? Huh? What? He probably did, but you know, that's some, like New Orleans niggas was wearing Abercrombie and Fitch when? 2005, 2006, 2007. Niggas ain't wearing that shit no more. Niggas now, they shopping at Macy's and Dillard's. They got their polo. Oh, and they shop at She Inside. Don't forget, they shop at She Inside. These niggas is shopping at She Inside. You know why? Because they old ladies is buying them the shit from She Inside like I do for Lyric. Aeropostale. No, but Abercrombie and Fitch, Aeropostale, American Eagle, there's another one that's still open in the mall right now that we used to go to all the time. But yeah, like he dressed like that. And that was our early to mid 2000s looks. After the 90s, we went into preppy. You know what I'm saying? And we were doing the Abercrombie. Because I remember, because every girlfriend that I had, we had matching sets of fucking cargo shorts. Child, when I tell y'all, nigga had 59, 11 pairs of fucking plaid. Hollister, thank you. Aeropostale, yes. Hollister for sure. So like that's how he was dressed now. And no, we not dressing like that no more. Like niggas is on their fashion shit. Yeah, oh, he had an Aeropostale shirt. Babe, he got it from the Goodwill. He's had it since that year that it came out. Never mind. I'm gonna let it go. Affordable?
It was fresh.
It was?
It wasn't like it was, you know, handed out.
It wasn't faded? Right, New Orleans men learned to dress up in junior high school. Listen, y'all saw how Hollywood showed up for that date. Clothes fit, nicely matched, coordinated, shiny than a motherfucker. Okay, nigga, dude glued down. Okay, that wig ain't going nowhere. Okay, I loved it. I love it. Like Hollywood is extra as fuck, but I think in the good ways. If y'all know how terrible New Orleans men could be, then y'all know that Hollywood really is a sweetheart. Because bro, even the way, like, if y'all knew how New Orleans niggas can't be on TV because they don't know how to talk to people without it being problematic. Like, you can't even have like a real New Orleans, because he gonna say something at some point that's gonna have everybody up in a fucking tizzy. Oh yeah.
He was just checking them niggas slightly.
Yeah. No, he knew, because you know New Orleans niggas know how Baton Rouge niggas be. Oh man. Coming here soft like I can't wait to see the second date that they go on. But anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. We ran away on that one. Later they talk. Later Shorty and Kenneth talk, and he admits that what he did wasn't cool. He felt like she was against him, so he took something as leverage. That's when they talk about him spamming the jobs and bad comments. He sabotages her. He apologizes. He needs to check his underlying issues. He gets emotional and says that he's not in denial. He knows what he needs to do, but the speed he's moving at isn't fast enough for her. And he says it like that's fucked up. He says it like it's fucked up that, you know, I'm trying to be better, but I'm just not moving fast enough for her. And it's like, bro, you playing in our face. So let me tell y'all something. Y'all gotta watch these old black movies. I'm about to start a new series that I'm about to start doing that I cannot wait to do with y'all. And it's called what would I say that I was gonna call it? Now That We're Grown. Now that we're grown, let's discuss. Okay. So I'm gonna start doing old movies that are like, you know, movies that we grew up watching, but watching it from the adult point of view. Because I feel like a lot of things as a kid that I watch, when I watch it now as an adult, I see it with new eyes. So I want to do that. The first one I'm going to do is Waiting to Exhale. But this one reminds me of the 5 Heartbeats. There was a scene on the 5 Heartbeats, and a lot of people ignore it because it was traumatic. It was the scene where they got pulled over by the police and had to sing, and, you know, for the police to leave them alone. Right before, JT was in the car telling everybody about how he just, well, you know, he get into it with a girl, they catch him cheating or lying, he just cry at the drop of a hat. You know what I'm saying? He was giving them the game and telling them how he would just cry and the women would forgive him and then give him the pussy. So know that whenever you're holding a man accountable for something and he starts to do the crying thing and he's done it before, it's a way of manipulating you into feeling sorry for him when he's actually done something wrong to you and he knows what he's doing. So stop falling for it. Stop feeling bad. Stop coddling him. Stop reaching out to help him. Stop giving him a little bit more time. Y'all, the 5 Heartbeats taught me that shit as a child, that a nigga will pretend to cry so that he can get away with doing something to a woman. Fucking her, lying to her, making her stay when he didn't cheated, beating on her. Oh, abusers love to do that. I don't know if y'all, I remember I read a Sarah Dessen. I don't know if y'all know about young adult books like that, but Sarah Dessen used to be one of my favorite authors. And Sarah Dessen wrote a book about an abusive relationship between a teenage girl and her boyfriend. And one of the things he would always do is cry to her about how his dad would beat on him. And that would make her feel bad. That would make her endear, you know, it would endear him to her, make her feel sorry for him. So that when he would beat on her, she would then think about, oh, he's only doing this because of how hard his life is with his dad. Make her feel bad. So then he could continue to abuse her. It's a manipulation tool. So when he was crying, there wasn't no tears coming out. I was like, and then he's going to spend the rest of the episode talking about, I'm just trying to think about how to be a better man. And I'm going to tell you, like they said in the 5 Heartbeats, you ain't shit because your daddy wasn't shit. Now that might not exactly fit, but I was talking about that movie and the nigga ain't shit. So I did it to Tina. Lady, oh, y'all saying that Lady Sings the Blues is one of the ones y'all want me to watch and redo? You should review old crime stories, Bondi. Watching Tupac and Biggie specials had me like, as an adult, ooh, that would be good. That sounds like something I would want to do with the girls. You know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you. I'm glad y'all like it. It actually came to me right before I fell asleep last night. Usually I get some of my best ideas on my way to sleep. It's just a matter of if I remember it when I wake up in the morning. And I remembered it. So I'm definitely going to make sure that I do that for y'all because I want to. And because I feel like that'll be fun for me. But yeah, y'all, when he was in, you know, crying and trying to get her to feel bad for him, I was like, girl, don't feel bad for him. This man manipulating you and you too old for this. You too old to be letting this young ass nigga manipulate you like this. Oh, you should be ashamed, girl. Anyway, Cherie shows up to go on her date with Otis, y'all. Cherie's pretty, you know, soft. You know, we like us, you know, they're going to put him on a date with the submissive woman that he wants to be on a date with, okay? Charlene is worried about Otis doing things out of anger, but he goes on his date, which was a pain and sip, and he says that he wants someone who's loyal, who respects him. Y'all, those are buzzwords, y'all. Loyalty and respect means let me abuse you and control you. Don't be a person. Do everything I want you to do and nothing else. And then whenever I do something wrong, be the blame. And then just take it as I talk to you crazy. That's what respect is to men like Otis. Respect is taking abuse. Being loyal is not cheating when I cheat on you. That's what loyalty is. Y'all gonna stop letting these niggas use these words, to mean unequal, unbalanced relationships requiring loyalty and respect. Like, that goes without saying. The fact that you feel the need to pull those words out means they mean something different to you, because that should go without saying. If we're talking about marriage, that's what comes with marriage, loyalty and respect. It's literally in the vows in one way or another. So the fact that you're asking for that means it means something else to you when you're asking for it. He also mentions how he likes that she's classy and covered up, because that means she's mature, but that he wanted to see a little bit more of her body. I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those. Y'all, why are these niggas textbook? Like, it's textbook for the abusive man to want a submissive woman who's loyal and respects him. It's also textbook for you to want a woman that's covered up, but then also want someone you can slut out. Weird as fuck. Weird as fuck, y'all. Okay? She tells him that she wants a man that can lead. Of course, that's what he wants to hear. And that's why they put him on a date with her. And she says she wants a man not only that can lead, but that lets her be there for him. I said, what the fuck does that mean? I don't like what that sounds like. I want a man that's going to let me be there for him. What does that mean? Let you be there for him. What niggas are you with that you have to fight with for you to be there for them? Like, what does that even mean? Which means that means something different for her. That means something different for her. I think whatever the fuck is wrong with this young lady, Cherie, it matches whatever the fuck is wrong with Otis. And that's why they put them on this date together. Because they both have toxic, unrealistic, masculine female roles, okay, in their minds for how they think relationships should go. I think it's amazing when 30-something-year-old men get with 30-something-year-old women who have been taking care of themselves their entire grown lives and want them to relinquish all of that. Like, I think that's so weird. And I think a lot of women think they want a man that's going to do that until they realize that's a caveat. There's always something involved in that is going to end up putting you at a disadvantage. That's why the old women always tell y'all to siphon them niggas' money to a separate account, because they are always going to get up at, most of the time, get up at some point in their life and decide that they tired of you, and that's going to leave you at a disadvantage. And then they're going to blame you because you didn't work and they paid for everything. Like, that's not what they asked you to do. Child, it's crazy. So, moving on from there, Alfonso is going on a date with this girl, Chantel. Chantel is a hot girl. Chantel showed up with them tits out. Hear me? Hear me. Okay, I see a lot of the girls. My friend is doing this. My friend loves now. I done seen her 2 or 3 good times now with the shirt just tied and the titties just sitting. I'm like, all right, girl, do it. That's the style. Child, I don't know. I don't trust my titties like that. I don't trust my titties to stay in place. My titties be trying to do what they want to do. So I be needing them hoes to be strapped in tight. But yeah, so, she came in looking cute. She going on a date. The fuck? Chantel, first of all, is a drug dealer girlfriend. So that should let you know she's Alfonso's type. And Alfonso is her type. When I say drug dealer girlfriend, I hope y'all understand what that means. There's an aesthetic that goes with, the young black girls that are all about their looks and being with a nigga with money and not caring what he looks like, as long as he clean with money. And, that's what I'm saying. Like, that, you're a drug dealer girlfriend. You want you want you want to feel safe that a nigga is out here murdering people when he has to. But then, caveat to that is that he'll sometimes smack the shit out of you. But you know, or abuse you in some way. But it's okay because you wanted a drug dealer and you want to be a drug dealer girlfriend. So it's okay when it's toxic because that's what you signed up for, right? Right, Shay? Y'all, Shay acted a fucking fool on this episode, okay? So first of all, her and Alfonso were arguing before he went out. They arguing about the same shit they always arguing about. Why you don't want to fix this with your mama? That's your mama. You know, he want her to go and talk to his mama. No, I'm not. You either gonna make it happen or it's just not gonna happen. I'm not making myself uncomfortable for you. That's your mama. Okay. Then the girl show up. She wouldn't open the door for the girl. When she finally let the girl inside, when they trying to walk out, she steps in front of the girl, which I did not like. And I felt like the girl was showing a lot of restraint, and I take my hat off to her because I don't know if I would have been able to show that type of restraint. I would hope I would. As an adult that claims they got their shit together, y'all, I will hope that I held my shit together in that moment. Because when she opened Chantel's car door, once they had gotten in the car, and she tapped on the window and said that the girl needed to get her arm off the armrest, and then she proceeded to open up the car door, when I tell you I'd have been ready to kick her in the puss. I'd have been ready to kick Shay in the puss. Shay was doing way too much. And the thing that makes me mad is that you will later sit in front of Dr. Nicole and tell Dr. Nicole that it wasn't about Chantel and her titties. It was about Alfonso and the fact that Alfonso has cheated on you before. So can you explain to me why you physically threatened and got in that girl's face the way you did? Can you explain to me why you followed them outside the house in your fucking onesie with your glasses on so that you can continue to act a fool in front of your neighbors when you knew they were going on a date? Like, I don't know if you thought that this is what you signed. Like, I think she thought this was Love and Hip Hop. I don't know. But when they go out on a date, you stay your ass inside. You can watch from a fucking window. Stay your ass inside. You don't chest up to the girl. She never once showcased the issue with him. She didn't stand in front of him. She stood in front of the girl. She didn't pull his door open. She pulled the girl's door open. And then she told that girl to cover up. I said, bitch, what she need to cover up for? Your nigga won't fuck her anyway. What she need to cover her titties for? He didn't seen them already. What exactly does she need to cover her titties up for? I don't like women like that, y'all. I don't like women like that. And I think Shay is so beautiful, but she made a fucking fool of herself. And I was completely like, oh my God, bitch, I'm disgusted. I'm disgusted. Bell K, please stop, because it don't match. It don't match, girl. It's different. It's real different. We're not about to act like every time somebody gets into a confrontation now, it's a Will Smith moment. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's really not. It's not the same. It's a totally different situation. But yeah, she made a fool out of herself. She did entirely too much. So y'all, Shamaya goes on a date with Kenneth. I'm telling y'all, I don't even know what Shamaya looked like. I don't even fully remember anything about the date because he was thinking about, he was just walking around like a sad puppy. This is his way of trying. Because first of all, he's doing the things that he always does in the relationship. And now that he's embarrassed himself and possibly admitted to doing something illegal on camera, he's now trying to endear the public to him by walking around like a lost puppy or some shit, hoping that we're going to feel sorry for him and forget all of the crazy things that they just explained that he does to his woman. Like, I don't care. Otis comes home with a cake for Charlena, and the cake had flowers on it. And he says, he says what him and the girl talked about, what she wanted in a relationship, what he wanted in a relationship. And then he says he gave her a side hug, you know, since now he realizes that a hug is not a big deal. He says, you know, now that we're, you know, we don't need boundaries anymore and we can do whatever we want to do. You know, he basically was saying that going forward, he didn't need boundaries because he was going to be able to control himself either way. So they no longer needed boundaries, which now makes Charlene feel like, no, wait, we do need boundaries because this sounds like you're going to do what you want to do. But really, it's a mind fuck. So you're now saying that you want the boundaries that actually were not of benefit to you. So you remember his unrealistic boundaries and how he treated you, right? And so now he comes home and he's saying, you know what? You're right. Let's get rid of the boundaries. And now that you're scared, because that's what he's done. He's put you in this place of fear. So now you're like, no, now we do need unrealistic boundaries during this process so you don't step outside of our relationship and embarrass me or hurt me and then feel as if you can blame me for it. That's what's happening in this moment. It's a manipulation. He flipped it on her. So now that later on, when he has unrealistic expectations and boundaries, she'll have to agree that she went along with it. Exactly. Shannon, exactly. She should have said cool instead of getting scared. And that's how he knows he has her. That's how he knows that he can control her. Child. It's a mess. They talk to Dr. Nicole. Alfonso tells, hold up, y'all. Come back on camera. Alfonso tells everybody how Shay acted a fool. She says that he was way too excited about the date and made her think about the TikTok videos. Well, apparently he's on TikTok talking to other women. And he says that it's just jealousy. She's just jealous. She says girls have called her and told her that she needed to get herself checked because she doesn't know where her man has been. I said, oh, so he cheated on you like that. He cheated on you like that. Oh, girl, I did not know that he cheats on you like that. That's terrible. That's a terrible thing. Oh, girl. I'm about to copy the link to StreamYard so that y'all can start to come on in. So y'all can tell me what y'all felt about Love and Marriage Huntsville. I need to be out of here no later than 2:15. Okay. All right. So y'all call in, tell me what y'all thought about last night's episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I'm gonna give y'all a little outline before we get into it, but I just wanted to put that up right now. That was him trying to make right. Kenneth was worried about having to live off of his non-existent income instead of shorties. Otis is a control freak who needs therapy. He is a true definition of a narcissist man. Hands up, bad comparison. I understand your perspective. Yeah, nah, I know. I feel like everybody I want us to let it go. I want us to let it go because my mind is tired. My mind is tired of all of the places that we're taking this situation, you know? But yeah, y'all, I think everybody needs to break up. I think Shay and Alfonso shit might be fake, but Charlene and Otis's shit, not fake. And I don't think they need to be together. Kenneth and Shorty situation, not fake. And they don't need to be together. And that's how I feel. So let's go ahead and move on. Let me give y'all a little 1-2-1-2 about Love and Marriage Huntsville. So we know that Martell, and Maurice sat down. Everybody was trying to hold Marceau accountable for the picture that he posted with the side chick. Martell laughed at the shit. Maurice doesn't blame Martell. Martell says, well, I'm sorry for laughing. Now what, Marceau? Now what? Marceau isn't going to take accountability for anything. He never does. But ultimately, I feel like, I don't know why you started a piss and match with your brother. I think it's because he thinks that Maurice is never going to tell on him. He doesn't trust that Martell won't. So he's not going to play with Martell the way he plays with Maurice. Putting that picture out was breaking bro code. Speaking of bro code, Lewis, who Marceau can't stand because Lewis is a grown-ass man that you can't manipulate into validating bullshit just for the sake of being your friend. I like Lewis. Lewis feels like he tired of y'all thinking that he a punk, and he wants to have a conversation with Marceau. And if he has to like check him, then that's what'll have to happen. And that's that on that. I love this scene right here with Mel and her daughter Mariah. I really appreciated the fact that Mel makes it a point to talk about how, well, I'm not gonna say talk about, I'm gonna say that because that's not what I meant to say. Mel always does this on the show. There's always an episode or 2 or 3 where they are doing something with the children that show this is what you should be doing with your children if you're trying to have a good relationship with your children, or when you're trying to produce adults that are going to be active in the world. She basically is explaining to Mariah that she works the way she does so she doesn't have to depend on anybody, and that she wants Mariah to find out whatever her dream is so she doesn't have to depend on anybody either. Okay? So I appreciated this conversation, especially when Mariah said she wanted to be better than Serena Williams. And I was like, honey, the fact that your mom can actually make that happen, if that's what you really want to do, I think that's a blessing. And I love the fact that Mel is able to do that for her children. And in the moment of sitting and talking to your daughter about taking care of herself and showing her how she's going to be like you, when she gets older as a woman and all of that, like those are such important conversations to have with your children. And I love the fact that Mel makes it a point to do that on the show. Okay. I had to talk about that. Tisha, this episode. Okay, so here's the thing about Tisha. Tisha sat up there and acted like, oh, these rumors, it's just so funny at this point. The cheating rumors are just funny at this point. Are they? Because you then turned around this episode to ask Marceau, where did the rumor about him and Marcel having an apartment together come from? To which he responded the way he responded to your mom when she asked him last episode with a question, answering a question with a question. Okay, which is, first of all, why, what did he say? He said something about, why would you believe it when it's the same people that said I had outside children and you haven't seen any evidence of that? Then he said, and he caught himself. Marceau told on himself. I think they did have an apartment. I'm gonna tell you why. When he answered her, he specifically said, my cars are noticeable. So if my cars were over there, if we had an apartment, then we would know by now. What do you mean over there? What do you mean over there, Martell? That when you said Marceau, when you said over there, that made me feel like there was a there. In your mind, your words were speaking for you. And in your mind, you know that there is an apartment. So there's an over there. That's why he responded. Because he was like, no, I ain't got no fucking apartment. If he didn't have an apartment, he would have just been like, that's ridiculous. Like, we barely can afford this place. Why would I have another apartment with this nigga? I don't even like him like that. That would have been a way to dispel this shit. Not, answer a question with a question and then play on Tisha's intelligence and make it seem like she's stupid for questioning you. If you don't, all of this bullshit that he does. He does the same thing. He does the same tactic. Every time somebody asks him something, it's the same deflecting, not answering the question. He never full out says no. Never has he ever said, no, that's not true. Martell and his mama. Child, first of all, Martell has a wine. And it's funny because Martell can't do anything without Melody or the kids. Like, I'm sad. I want him to find something to make a living off of so he can feel better about himself, because a part of him getting his shit together is him being able to make money without Mel. So the wine is a good idea, except for the fact that Martell does not drink. And he says that there was a sweet wine that him and Mel used to drink all the time, and he wanted to recreate that, and then he named it after his grandmother. And I was just like, so even this wine is because of Mel, because Mel put you on a wine. And, that's how things happen when you're in relationships with people. You know what I mean? Like they spark things. But it also just kind of feels like you're constantly in a space of needing her in one way or another while trying to disparage her at the same time. And Miss Marlene, I'm annoyed with you because I feel like you're the reason why Martell never takes accountability for anything. In this episode, you could not wait to have a reason to be proud of him, because recently he's been falling short even of your even of your expectations of him. He's been falling short. And, you know, you're not going to say that to him. That's why she was so happy, so glad about the wine and, you know, drinking it up. That's why she looked like this right now. Because she wanted to make sure to big her son up. You know, he needed to be bigged up, and she had a reason to do it this time versus before when she had to keep telling him, don't worry about it, baby. That's all right. That's life. You know, instead of saying you need to do better, you need to treat her better, you need to handle yourself better. I'm tired of y'all. It's a lot of you mamas out there that really coddle your children to the point that they can't take accountability in relationships and therefore ruin their relationships. And instead of taking accountability for your part in that, you would rather act like everybody is tripping and that's just life and nobody's perfect. I swear, I have heard that so many times these past few weeks from bad moms. And I say bad moms because I think one of the things you should be teaching your children is accountability. So if you don't teach them accountability, you have failed them in some way. You failed them. And the one thing that moms who have failed their boy children love to say is nobody raises a perfect child. Nobody's perfect. We cannot be perfect and also not be extremely fucked up. Like we could do those two things at the same time. Y'all expectations are too low if everything that comes out of your mouth is, oh, nobody's perfect. Yeah, bitch, we know. J. Cole and Missy Elliott told us. But that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you get to be absolved of the things that you do wrong, or you don't have to be accountable or responsible or actually make a change long term instead of just apologizing for the minute and then going back to your bullshit the next, you know. No. Like, no, Marlene, and all the other mamas that do that. Y'all, look at Miss Mamas. Y'all, look at Miss Mamas. I cannot. Y'all, I hate Mel's Wig. I love Miss Mamas. Miss Mama, whenever I see this little girl smiling on the internet, y'all, it does something for my spirit. I'm not even gonna lie. Her smile is the most like infectious, happy making thing ever. I don't know what that is about, okay? And I normally respond well to children, but there is something about Miss Mamas. And when I see her online smiling in any capacity, I am instantly like happier. So let's get back to her piss poor daddy. Let's get to the piss poor daddy for a second, and then I'm gonna click y'all in so we can talk about it. So this episode, Martell had this book signing for the kids, and the kids didn't show up. And it was embarrassing. And I was watching him sitting there, you know, maybe the kids will show up. And I felt bad for him. Y'all, there was a moment where I literally stopped, paused the tape, okay? I literally stopped paused it and sat there for a minute because I was like, damn, I feel so bad for him. I need to sit with this for a second. I don't need to see nothing else. I need to stop this and sit with this feeling for a second. There it is. And I did. I sat with it for a second and I said, you manipulative piece of shit. You did that on purpose. You purposefully scheduled it on Mel's week and told Mel at the last minute. Mel said he told her a couple of days before. Honestly, I felt like it might have been more than a couple of days, but I felt like he still waited until she had the kids to call her or text her and say, are the girls' hair going to be done? She's like, what you talking about? Oh, well, I have this book signing for the kids. Why would you schedule it during her week? You did that on purpose so that you can make her look bad, so that you can make her look like she's uncompromising and she's not trying to help you see your kids and she's trying to keep you from the kids. Because that's the only way y'all can make women who do everything look like bad guys, right? Is to make it seem as if they're trying to keep you from your kids. You did that intentionally. And you did it well. You did it well because I actually did feel bad. And then when I thought about it, I was like, you feel bad because he wants you to feel bad. And that's what he's good at. That's the one thing Martell is good at. Martell is good at manipulating women's feelings. And I think his mom has made him very good at that. So yeah, y'all, let's go ahead and start. Adrian, you ready, love?
Can you hear me?
I sure can. What's going on, ma'am?
Okay, girl, let me get into this real quick. So I feel like what we're watching with Tisha is somebody being emotionally and psychologically abused in real time. I feel like if you remember, and I think I said this last week, if you remember when Iyanla, when she used to look at these women who were going through similar situations, and she would say that they were neck down dead. That's how Tisha looked. Her affect is flat. Her eyes were so dead when she was sitting there talking to Marceau. It just complete, you could knock her over with a feather. Like she just had this complete blank look. Like when you said that the question wasn't answered sufficiently last time when Wanda asked it about that apartment, so she got to bring it up again. But she tiptoes around us, trying to make it like she ain't really asking. She's like, "Well, where did that come from?" And yeah,
Right.
where did you did
Not
that? You
looking
know,
at him, head to the side, rubbing through her hair. Yeah.
but the thing I can't stand somebody act like they're smarter than the average bear. And what I want Marceau to stop doing, he kept saying, "Well, they want us to get divorced." No, we want you to stop playing with her, stop playing in our faces and playing on people's intelligence. And I feel like when it comes to accountability, he can say, "Oh, they what he said, they ambushed me." They ain't nobody ambush you. Nobody
He
ambush you,
kept
sweetheart.
saying that.
You're just not used to accountability because Tisha never makes you have any. But when it came to Martell, I honestly don't feel like the manager, I don't get petty from her. I don't think she would have allowed him to be petty like that and intentionally plan something on Mel's weekend. I think from her, she gave me maybe it was more the venue had availability, but I blame him for not communicating with Mel in a timely manner. Bondi, I remember that from when my parents got divorced 30 years ago. My father had every other weekend, every other holiday, and 3 weeks out the summer. And if in the event that there needed to be a change, then as soon as you understand that, hey, there's gonna be a change on the calendar, then you reach out to the, other parent and try to make. So I feel like I don't get from her that she would have let him intentionally do that, but I do get from him that he probably did mess around and tell Mel at the last minute.
Oh, he did. And remember when she told him, I'm glad that you brought her up because she said to him, I told you that she wasn't going to come because she doesn't feel safe.
Right.
Meaning she knows that you use these opportunities to fight with her. So she's not going to
seems
come
very
around.
level-headed. She seems very level-headed. And he's going to use this to be his storyline for the rest of the season. They're going to be going back and forth about whether or not he gave her ample notice about this. They're going to talk about this for the rest of the season. The next reunion and everything is going to be about whether or not. And the thing about it is too, I feel like Mel would want her kids to shine. They're the authors. I don't think Mel would intentionally not want her children to go to something where they can get some shine and be put on as, little authors. So I do feel like it. But the thing about, she said her family member had passed away, whatever. Okay, I get that. But if it's just a family get together, could you have just gone to the little thing, the signing, and then gone after? Just let the children have that, let him have that for that moment, and then leave right after and go to your family. I just feel like when it comes to divorce people, when it comes to the, if you want to, but when it comes to divorce people, it's like, come on, y'all, let's be adult about this, But that's all I had, girl. It was a filler episode.
Okay, I appreciate you.
Okay, love. See you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. All right, come on, Miss B Stokes. What's going on?
Hey, Bondi.
Hey.
I miss talking to you. Okay, so as far as Martell in this situation, I saw the manipulation a mile away. I didn't have one moment of feeling sorry for him. Not one. So I'm surprised that you did.
Girl, sometimes I really just be watching shit with an open, like just open,
And most times I do. But with Martell, my good eye is always on him. And
it was only for a second, though. It was only for a second.
And you knew it was manipulation because at the end of the day, he knew those kids were not coming. And he kept going, well, maybe they'll come through the door any moment. I'm still looking. No, it could have been just as easy as said, no, we had a scheduling conflict. They'll be at the next one. I'll see you at the next one. Whatever. I was over on Campire's channel and they were saying they believe that it was more than just him at this book signing, which is fair. If it was more than just him and he wasn't able to change the dates, but proper notification and something other than the email, an actual conversation, a level conversation about children could have been had. And then we wouldn't have this confusion. Yeah.
Right. He didn't tell her about it or ask her. He was like, oh, is their hair going to be done? Like, what?
Yeah, it was manipulation. And then when it comes to Tisha, I really want to give Tisha benefit of the doubt. I know that everyone's saying she looks neck down dead. I'm going to pray that she's just a woman who is at peace with what she has to do and is in getting her affairs in order. That's
I
how I'll
hope
say.
so too. I hope you're right. And I hope that's what it is because, but you know what though? It's when she fights on his behalf and when she still asks him the questions that make me feel like it's not what we hope for. You know, we would hope she would just be getting her ducks in a row. But I don't think
That's
so.
what I'm hoping for. I'm just hoping that you are an intelligent woman. You have two masters. You use your mom to do your dirty work because you're questioning it. You sent your mama in there first.
Oh,
Honestly.
I think she definitely sends Wanda on her behalf. I don't think Wanda sees this shit before she does. I think she sees a lot of that shit first.
And she's using her mama to be the pit bull that her mama has been. And then that's why you'll bring it back up. I feel like she's bringing it back up because that to me is what's like, maybe she's just like, let me get some evidence so I can really be on the outs.
No, Kiki said that shit has come to her and she's had to look at her marriage. That means you've had evidence before and you like to shy away from it. But I'm gonna just tell you, and then I'm gonna let you go because I gotta we gotta move on.
Yeah.
But I really like Tisha, and my anger with Tisha comes from me watching her be so sad and not doing anything about it.
Yeah. Because the only person that's going to end that marriage is Tisha. Because he's doing what he want to do. He having his best life.
Okay, it's cheaper to keep her.
But all right, Bundy, you have a good one.
Thank you, B Stokes. Y'all follow B Stokes on her YouTube channel.
Thank you.
All right, boo. Come on, Ralph. What you got for me, love? Oh, what you got?
Okay. So Marceau and Tisha. I feel like she needs to be honest about it and stop acting like she's stupid because she has 2 degrees. So I think she's playing a role. This whole thing with Martell and this whole book signing, sir, you have to have communication with the other person and not just by no email asking about getting your child's hair done. That has to be a communication there.
Dates, times,
That has to be there has to be a communication there. And if it's not, that's your fault, that's your problem. Stop playing on our intelligence. But I'm gonna go because
thank you, Ralph. I appreciate you, love. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay. All right, Natavia, you ready, love?
Yes, I'm ready. Hey, Bondi.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing's going on. And it's Natavia. That's
Natavia.
Yes, ma'am.
Girl, you know, I was thinking it was like on Latavia, like on
Cliffs, yes. What I had to say about Martell and stuff is that I just feel like he is full of it. And like you, I did have that moment where it was like 2 seconds. I was like, damn, he looked pitiful as hell. But I had to realize that he was just embarrassed. He just knew that Mel was going to bring those kids. He think he's still got that kind of control over her. And he wanted her to bring the crowd because it was 3 people there. Like you didn't, if it was for the kids, you would have invited people from her family and all of that stuff. I only seen people that was there he was saying his aunt or whoever from his side of the family. It wasn't nobody from Mel's side of the family, which would include people for the kids. So, and then like you didn't even have any confirmation. So whether she ignored you or if she knew when you booked it, you didn't have any confirmation from her. So don't expect for her to bring, you didn't have any confirmation. So the kid's not coming. You know, she don't roll like that. So if she was bringing those kids, that event would have been way more popping than it was. And he know that. So I don't think she was wrong. You want her to protect you at all costs, but you don't pass up a chance to dog her out, and then you question her mother and like it's nothing, like she dirt. So, but you want her to do you a solid. Quit playing. I like Kimmy. But I'm really feeling like Kimmy is riding this with Tisha this season because now people is saying that she a fool too. Because before, like, you wasn't riding with Kimmy, with Tisha like that. Like it was because only Tisha and Marcel and them was all in the hot seat. But now that Maurice have thrown you into that bucket of looking like a fool, now you want to talk to Tisha and tell her what Kiki was saying and all this type of stuff. And they going so hard at Kiki, which I mean, I would feel that it was wrong if it was my family member, but Marcel, you was at that reunion trying to lie to Tisha saying that he wasn't there, and then you put that picture out. So Tisha, you don't have a right to say nobody tried to ruin your relationship or your marriage, because if that's the case, then what your husband did was try to ruin Kimmy and Maurice's marriage as well. And that's his brother.
Right.
Keeping your cousin, that's his brother. So I don't get where he like, even Marceau is so up in arms with Kiki and stuff like that. You try to throw your own brother into some mess. So even with that, and Maurice did say in the back of the stage with Kimmy that he, like, everybody know I was there. And like he said, but I don't know what Marceau's reasoning for posting that picture for. Now it just seemed like you was just trying to say, like, my brother not shit either. So
yeah, that's what it was. He did what Martell did, which was let me spread some of this shit around because they think it's just me, but no, it's you too. So I'm gonna post this picture to embarrass you more and let it be known that you with the shit too. Like, look at him with his head to the back, just like us. That's what that was.
yeah,
Which he's really relying on the fact that Maurice won't spray him. See, he won't
but
do that to Martell. You see, every time Martell or him, he. What you was
I
gonna
can't
say?
hear you. Oh, I couldn't hear you. Oh, I was just saying, yeah, because he know Martell is a spray him. He know Martell will call his bluff, and that's what the problem is. I agree with you too on that Lewis stuff. I totally agree with that. Like, I like Lewis because Lewis, he let Martell know, like, you think that she about to go for that. What you think she gonna say? Like, without saying, like, boy, quit playing with her. You know that girl ain't gonna let you get them kids. Like, he talked to them in a way that I feel like he trying to let him think about that before you go putting that out there. Think about that. And
You sure
then
about
with
that?
yeah, and with Marceau, like, they got so much heat for Lewis, and I think Lewis held his own at the reunion pretty good against them because they all did try to team up on him. But I think he going that hard with him because Lewis don't have that tea. Lewis ain't did no dirt with them, and Lewis don't know they dirt because you see he don't have that same energy for Martell. Martell sitting there talking about what they all did wrong, but you the one added Slaw in the mix and talking about, didn't you take the picture? Which made it even, like, that made everything even worse because first Marceau put on a picture about the ring. Like, he the only one that had his ring on.
Exactly.
Maurice wasn't married, so he didn't need to have no ring on. When Martell added Slaw in there, that's what made everything else go left with the linebackers.
Yeah, because then she started telling on that was the trip where he was there with a girl and the other one was there with a girl. Everybody had a girl, and that's how we call it, the side chicks trip.
Yep.
Thank you, Latavia, girl. You came in here and said a word.
Oh, thank you. Have a good one.
You too. All right. Come on, Ramon Ricardo, girl. What's going on?
Hello. You look cute.
Hello. So do you.
Thank you. I'm gonna run these people down. First, it was a filler episode, running them down. Lewis, we like you. We really do. But that man's not your friend, and he'll never be your friend. Y'all are acquaintances, and you're an acquaintance to him who holds him accountable for the ish that he does in your face, and he can't have that. Because then the wife is going to start trying to hold him accountable for the things he does in her face. And he can't have that either, because he needs her to be docile, shut up, and do what I tell you. Basically, stay at home while I go take trips to Africa by myself, or so he says. So y'all never going to be friends. Marcel and Tisha, she makes me so sad. Like, I don't ever really be sad for some of the reality people. Like, I was sad for Mel the way it all played out, because I could see it really hurt her. But again, we could all see flaws in everybody on this shows, like these shows, because we have flaws too. But she makes me so sad, because it's like, you're smart, you are beautiful. Granted, Wanda J. Blige did you a disservice in like raising you, because she didn't teach you the things you needed to be taught to recognize these toxic traits in a partner. But she makes me so sad, because it's just like, he's playing in your face and he's verbally and emotionally abusing you. We see it, but you don't. And he's like, he treats you like trash, even though people like, oh, he buys her stuff, or she's doing this, or she has a nice house, or they have property. He treats you like garbage. Like, he will walk all over you. So I'm sick of them, and I wish she would just leave him, or, poison him. But that will never happen. Also, she needs Wanda. Like, it reminded me of the first person talking about the Wanda and Tisha, like having Wanda come in first and then Tisha follows her. It reminded me, if nobody ever watched Star, it reminded me of like that last season when Star's talking to her sister and she says, I bulldoze over people because you can't. With all the trauma you don't have that energy in you to bulldoze over people to get things done and get the information needed. And that's what Wanda does.
Wanda does for Tisha.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, connection. You need this person, even though she's your mom and she did you a terrible disservice in the way she raised you. You need her to do these things for you, because you don't have the energy and you've been beat down so much, not like actually, but just like emotionally and verbally, that you can't stand up for yourself. Martell, I don't know how you can make wine if you don't actually drink, even though I'm not a huge drinker and I take long breaks from drinking. I don't see how you can make wine if you don't drink. But I mean, you're not gonna get that builder's license, so you got to have money some type of way. You got to get a coin somewhere. I mean, I don't want to hear nothing from him until he gets the builder's license. But since that's not gonna happen, good for you. Get your wine. I mean, don't keep serving your mama wine, because I don't think that is a good situation right there, because she looked lit already before you gave it to her.
Honestly,
and then
I'm not gonna say, listen, Lyric told me not. Lyric said call her a wino, but the way she was like, pour some more in the cup, hurry up, pour some more. I was just like,
somebody in the chat called her Ned the wino.
It was given that,
right?
It was given that.
And then the book signing thing. Before the book signing, Mel and the way she talked to her daughter and just like instilling those values and like saying you could do anything you want, you could be anything you want as long as you work for it and know that I'm behind you. My mom did that for me. Just in the way she said to me, I want you to be better than me, and any chance that she got to put me in some type of program or anything that would help me be better than her, that's what she did. And I'm thankful, because I got 2 degrees now.
Congratulations.
So thank you. But that's important especially to instill in your children, especially your daughters.
Yes, it is.
Especially the way with like how the media likes to play with little Black girls and Black women.
Right.
This book signing, sir, communication. Where is y'all court appointed mediator? Where is y'all third party? Who is y'all go between? Because communication is everything. I didn't have issues. Like, I didn't have like the co-parenting situation when I was growing up, more so because my mother had full custody of me. So that was not the issue. But I see it with my little sister and my mom and her father. They co-parent. They have their days. They have their weeks. If something's happening, they could actually sit down and have a conversation. They don't need a third party. But because of the way you like to play with Mel and the way you like to play with the entire situations and how you like to make her the bad guy, the court was very much needed. And y'all went to court, and this is y'all custody agreement. It's her week. if you're going to plan something, or because everybody else has said he didn't plan it, it just so happened to fall during her week. If you knew ahead of time, which you probably did, you should have said in detail on that email. Even though like the book signing falls during your week, could you possibly bring the children, because they did help write the book, to, you know, the signing, and it's this day and it's this time? I would greatly appreciate it. But because Martell is who he is, you give him an inch, he'll take a mile. So even if she gave him this during her week, just bringing them there, then this opens the door for him to keep pulling these situations.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it's definitely a manipulation tool.
Yeah, it like, come on now. Like I said, we all see flaws in everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody's team this, nobody's team that. But it was her week. And by her giving him time during her week, even though it was never confirmed that those kids were going to go to the signing, they were already going to be with Mel during her week.
Right.
If she would have gave him that, then that means it opens up the door for him to be like, well, I'm doing this, so I want the kids to be there. Or, I know it's my week, but can you switch?
Right. It just he'll take advantage, and he always does, because you give him an inch and he take a mile. But thank you so much, Randall Ricardo. I appreciate you for calling in, but I got to get to some other people because I got to get off of here. Thank you so much, though, girl. I appreciate you. Y'all follow Randall Ricardo. She has a YouTube channel, too. All right, the ends. What you got for me, baby?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi. Oh, my God. You really chose me. Okay. To be honest, I was cleaning, so I didn't expect for you to choose me, but I just want to say, when it comes to the show, last night's show, it was a hot mess with his mama. Like I said from the last caller, I appreciate myself doing different business endeavors, but if you don't drink wine, or you're like what you call a wino, what's the point of doing wine? You have to have some type of love. You have to have some type of love in any business you decide to do or put money or invest in. You can't just do it because the next person is doing it.
Right.
And for your advocate, please know she's a drunk. I'm sorry. She just told herself that she's a drunk on national live television, and I don't think that's a good role model, especially to have around your kids, but that ain't none of my business. When it comes down to the whole co-parenting, Martell is wrong. It's easy as 1, 2, 3 to have a simple text, email, chat. Even if I don't really like you, but I have to co-parent you, Melanie, the assistant, can contact Melanie, the mom. What was the point of having Melanie, the assistant, and she's not doing that?
She's his manager.
Oh, I'm sorry, manager. I apologize.
Yeah.
What was the point? But still, communication. Either way, it still didn't go the way he planned or she planned. When it comes down to the whole Tisha and Kimmy, I feel like Kimmy's going to be Kimmy regardless, and let them know that, hey, such and such was talking that crap. I was there in attendance. I didn't say anything, but you're going to see for yourself regardless. I'm going to let you know either way, this is what happened. Mm-hmm. That cousin is a setup. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to say like Melanie is the mean girl, because I don't personally know her, but this is what I'm seeing. She's trying to, like I think you said in your previous video, she's trying to let these girls know that, hey, your dudes are cheating, and I'm still going to make sure you know. But since I can't get through Tisha, I'm going to get through your cousin. And that's going to open a wound to Tisha and Miss Wanda to let them know, like, hey, why are you in these people's faces? You don't really deal with them like that. You're only doing this for the show. Why are you on the show spreading my business? Shut the fuck up. I apologize about my language, but be quiet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't play like this. You telling too much information, as what Melanie say, to my enemy. Mm-hmm. So if you telling somebody else my information to my enemy, what does that make you? So yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want to be mean, because like this is these people marriages, but I'll be damned if I sleep with the devil and my nigga, like, you know, laughing and hoo hollering in my face, and I see this every Saturday. But that's all I got to say. Thank you. I love this. I appreciate you giving us the time to speak, to chat, and you look beautiful on this Sunday evening.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate you for calling. You too. You be blessed too, love. Thank you.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, one more. Too feisty. You ready?
Yes, I am. Hey, Bondi. How's it going? I won't keep you. I literally just, like, last night was watching your live, and everything that didn't connected for me once you said he did this on purpose. I was like, that actually makes sense now. Because like from an organizational standpoint, I was like, okay, you want your kids to be there. Why not have them the night before all of you come together? You don't know what she's doing. You don't know what time they're coming. It seems like that you just weren't, like, it wasn't coordinated correctly. Even down to like, oh, I sent her an email telling her to have the kids ready. It's like, who sends an email when they have an important event and the kids are like the centerpiece of the event? It just didn't make any sense. And once you said that, I was like, that's why it's so confusing. Even down to the way that scene was produced. Why is it that all of the 5 people that attended came to the table asking, so where are the kids? Like somebody told them, okay, when you go up there, ask them where the kids are. He totally orchestrated that entire situation.
And then having the seats, the chairs with their names on them. I was like, yeah, you
constantly zooming in, and then every time they would ask him, he would just be like, well, I don't know. I'm hoping they'll walk in any minute now. And he called her knowing that he has that little burner phone that Mel gave him, the number 2. Like, you knew she was not going to answer that phone. Like, why are you calling her? That's why you emailed her in the first place. It just seemed fake. Even down to like everybody has been mentioning, planning the event to be during her week was the first sign that he did that on purpose. Like, I didn't realize that when I was watching it. It wasn't until you said that and I was like, he sure did do that on purpose. Like, it makes sense why it just looked unorganized. Like, they just threw that event together last minute. There was literally nobody there.
He was counting, I think he was literally counting on Mel to continue to argue with him in every scene. And when she decided she was no longer going to tape with him, he was then trying to find ways to get them in the same room so they can then argue and you can make her look like the bad guy. So if she's not going to come, then it'll still make her look bad because I'll look sad that the kids didn't show up and she didn't come and she could have done it and she's being petty. Like, yeah, he absolutely thought about it beforehand because he's manipulative.
You took that right out of my mouth. I literally was going to say that I think he did that because Mel threw a curveball when she said, I'm not filming with you this season. And he's like, well, what am I going to talk about? I got to do something. And it's like, because, he always has that stupid look on his face. Marcel is slick. And now it's turned into this whole Mel's being petty. It's about the kids. And it's like, yeah, could she have shown up? Absolutely. But that entire event looked to be, it appeared unorganized. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't plan that within like the last couple days or so. It didn't look like somebody really said, and why were there no kids there?
It was just open and just kind of, and then when Tiffany and Lewis came with their kids, it just made it feel even more vacant.
And it was super last minute because not even the cast was there, and majority of the cast has plenty of kids. Like, it looked like it was thrown together last minute. I feel like details are going to come out within the coming weeks that how that whole scenario actually played out, like the behind the scenes scene, and we're going to find out that he definitely orchestrated that to look that way. He didn't plan that ahead of time. He didn't. And I wasn't going to mention this, but all the other callers kind of triggered this thought. I always say in the comments when we talk about this show, Tisha gives me Sheila from Why Did I Get Married? The energy that she carries throughout this show is like literally like it's going to take Marceau to look her in her face and say, yes, I'm cheating on you, for her to finally accept that he's cheating on her.
And he's never going to do that.
I feel bad for her because nobody, especially as a woman, nobody wants to see another woman deal with something like that. And it definitely is like psychologically abusive, the fact that although most of us don't want to be lied to by the people we care about, he obviously won't even give her the courtesy of lying to her just to put her mind at ease. He knows the effect it's having on her, and he does it anyway because he finds enjoyment out of it. And that is just so disheartening to watch. But in the same instance, it's like, but you blame us, the viewers, because we're telling you, hey girl, something is not right, as opposed to being mad at the man that's playing in your face every day 24/7. I just can't respect that part of her. Like, she has more vitriol for us when he's constantly disrespecting and demeaning you. I cannot take it. Like, that's why I just can't feel 100% bad for her. She had to figure that out because I'm tired of her looking like Air Bud in that clown costume. I am on the side of the road just looking beautiful. It's so like she was so scared to ask him, so do you guys have an apartment? And it's crazy. Like, you have a husband of over 15 years and you scared to ask him a question?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What? I can't deal.
I wouldn't be able to deal with that. So, Ashley, thank you for. She said he was a vendor. That was not his event. Well, that's why he shouldn't have been a vendor at that event, because he didn't have the kid that week. He didn't have the kids that week. That makes even more sense. Like,
even down to his manager, like you can tell she had no part in planning that event.
She was just there.
She was just there, and that's why she was asking him questions she didn't have to answer to, because you could tell, like I said, it was just obvious. Once you said that, it connected. Everything fell into place like it was supposed to.
I'm telling you
what was happening. She like, as a manager, she was supposed to help coordinate that. And she did not, because she had no information, because he did not give that to her, because he wanted to make Mel look bad. He knew Mel was not bringing those kids.
Yeah, he knew. And then when we saw Mel had bags packed. So Mel was traveling somewhere with the kids. So it probably was like, no, I'm not going to change my plans that I had planned for them before they came. Like, I had plans for them a while ago. And now you are letting me know at the last minute that you got some other shit going on. And I'm going to change my plans. No, I'm not doing that.
Via email.
Right, via email. I'm not doing that. But thank you so much, Too Feisty, for calling in.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
You too. Bye. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for calling in. Thank y'all for coming and watching. I appreciate everybody. This has been so much fun. We're going to keep doing it like this. That way y'all still get a little bit of the Love and Mary Chunsville conversation popping without me having to give y'all a full review of it. All right. So everybody, like the video, follow my website, BondyBlueShow.com. Okay. Check out the last video, which was Ratchet Reality. Thank you, Asada, for the super chat. Hey, Bondy Beautiful. Did you see the video on Neighborhood Talk on Instagram, Martell and Ariane together at the concert? Yes, I did. We talked about it last night. If you are a member, I did my live. I posted it everywhere that members can see. Patreon, YouTube, and it's also on the forum. But yes, I saw them online, thirsty to let everybody know that they're together and having a good time, and that's good for them. I hope that it lasts. I hope they can stay together. I hope they work it out. But that has yet to be seen. However, they had a really good time at the concert. Okay, they look like they was having a good time, the Trina and them. That's us. New car, hot shit, that's us. Keep niggas like, that's us. Where my money bitches at? Right here. Where my bitches at? Right here. Okay, so the best way to become a member at this point is to go to my website, BondyBlueShow.com, and sign up to either be a Baby Blue member or a Royal Blue member. Okay, it is explained what those things entail, but all of it is the forum, and any extra content that I do comes to my members on the website before anybody else. So BondyBlueShow.com. Love y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all day. I'm out this